which homeowners treated me like a thief, not knowing I hand-carved their $50,000 dining table. I'd spent 8 months carving their dining set from a single black walnut tree, every joint hand-cut, every surface personally finished with 16 coats of oil I'd mixed myself. When the delivery company said they were short-staffed and asked if I wanted to ride along to see my masterpiece installed, I threw on an old t-shirt and work pants, figuring it'd be cool to help carry it in and watch their reaction. I had no idea the homeowners were about to terrorize me, because they had no idea I'd spent the last 2,000 hours creating the furniture they'd dropped 50 grand on. The husband Brian opened the door and immediately stepped outside, closing it behind him like I might rush past him. "We weren't expecting anyone this early," he said, looking at my unmarked truck with suspicion. "Let me see your work order and ID before you bring anything near my property." When I showed him the paperwork, he took photos of everything including my driver's license, then called someone to verify while making me stand on the porch. My chest tightened, but I stayed quiet, wanting to see their genuine reaction when they finally saw the pieces, even if it meant enduring their suspicion first. His wife Grace came out and whispered something to Brian, who nodded and announced they'd need to check the truck before I unloaded anything. They walked around it 3 times, Brian getting on his knees to look underneath. Grace took photos of my license plate and started texting rapidly. When I opened the truck to show them their furniture, Brian immediately accused me of trying to pull a switch. "This isn't what we ordered," he said without even unwrapping it. "You're probably delivering some knockoff." The accusation stung because every detail under those blankets was perfect, down to the hand-rubbed finish I'd spent weeks perfecting. Grace started filming me, narrating evidence in case anything went missing. As I carried the first chair, Brian followed so closely he kept stepping on my heels. "I know what you're doing," he said, casing the place. His proximity made me stumble, nearly dropping the chair I'd spent 3 weeks carving, which made him grab it from the other side like I was about to run. The near drop made Grace panic and call their neighbor Matt, who arrived with a baseball bat. "These people always come back to rob you," Matt announced, blocking the doorway while I tried to carry furniture past him. Having 3 people surrounding me while I handled my own work made my hands shake with frustration. When I needed to move their existing table, Brian grabbed my wrist hard the second I touched it. "That's a family heirloom," he shouted, even though the Pottery Barn label was visible underneath. The grab made me reflexively pull back, which Grace interpreted as aggressive behavior. She immediately called 911, saying I was getting physical with her husband. While she was on the phone, Matt decided I'd been inside too long and started going through the truck himself, pulling out my personal tools. "Burglary equipment," he announced, holding up my hand chisels. He brought tools to break in later. Brian used this as justification to start patting my pockets, looking for what he assumed I'd stolen while inside. The physical search made me step back, which Brian interpreted as trying to flee. He grabbed my shoulder, and Matt moved to block my escape route to the truck. "He's trying to run," Grace told the 911 dispatcher. "The delivery man is acting violent and attempting to flee. Please hurry." I tried to explain, but Brian found my leather work apron in my pocket with my name embroidered on it. "Robert Miller, Master Craftsman," he read mockingly. "This guy stole the real craftsman's apron. Identity theft on top of everything else." He threw it on the ground and stepped on it, grinding dirt into the leather I'd worn for 15 years. Grace noticed I'd been positioning each chair at specific angles and accused me of memorizing their layout. She started moving all the furniture I'd placed, which made me involuntarily reach out to stop her from scratching the finish against the wall. Matt interpreted this as assault and pinned my arms behind my back while Brian called the furniture company directly. "I want to speak to the actual craftsman right now," Brian demanded on speakerphone. "Some criminal is here impersonating him, even stole his apron." The owner started laughing. "Robert's actually doing the delivery himself today. He wanted to see your reaction to the pieces. Tall guy, brown hair, probably wearing his old Marines shirt." "No," Brian insisted, looking at me with disgust. "This is some Mexican thug with prison tattoos trying to rob us." "Put me on video," the owner said. When Brian switched to video call, the owner's face appeared on screen. "Robert, is that you they're restraining?" Brian spun the phone to show me pinned against the wall by Matt, and the owner exploded. "What the hell are you doing? That's Robert Miller. He spent 8 months building your furniture. Let him go immediately." Brian's face drained of color as he looked from the phone to me, then at the apron he'd ground into the dirt with my name clearly embroidered on it. Full story on the channel below.